We promised you we were going to show you just a little insight into what Sarah Palin is talking about on Oprah Winfrey when that first interview hits on Monday. Oprah took to Twitter to tweet a little video explaining what it was that she asked Sarah Palin about.
We talked about Trig, her baby. We talked about Levi Johnston. We talked about her marriage. We talked about everything. There's nothing that we didn't talk about.
All right, so we're going to hear more from Oprah next week. It's going to be a big Palin week. But in the meantime, we're here with Joan Biskupic, a reporter for USA Today and the author of a brand new book, a really interesting biography of Antonin Scalia. It's called American Original: The Life and Constitution. I love that title, Life and Constitution of Supreme Court Justice Antonin Scalia. And Joan, I'm struck by in reading the book and studying Scalia, this as an observer over the years. He is such an outsized presence on this court. He's such a big personality. How does that play itself out? Are we going to be talking about a Scalia court generations from now?
Well, it's so funny you say that, because while you were talking about Sarah Palin, I thought, Sarah Palin will come and go. He's appointed for life. He will endure beyond her and beyond next week, that's for sure. Yes, he came on in 1986 as an appointee of Ronald Reagan. He was this big dissenter. He was always by himself. He was even to the right of Chief Justice William Rehnquist. Most of his message came in dissents beyond the marble walls. Now suddenly he's got votes. He's the one who wrote the majority opinion, giving us for the first time a Second Amendment individual right to handguns, striking down the Washington, D.C. handgun law. So he's gathering steam over these 2 decades, and he's only 73, which in justice years is really very young, very young. So yes, I imagine he's going to be much more of a player on the law each year as we come along, because the next justices who are likely to retire are likely to be the liberals, not the conservatives.
Is he a political animal? You know how the justices, they like to sit up there and sort of remove themselves from the sort of the political debates of the day. I sense with him, he's okay engaging in the political events of the day a little bit.
He actually came up through politics. What a lot of people don't remember is he was a Nixon man. He was around at the time of Watergate, and then he became an assistant attorney general for the Office of Legal Counsel under Gerald Ford. He has a good political instinct. In fact, I remember talking to him around the time of the appointment when President Obama had his first chance to put somebody on the bench. And he said, presidents always want to make a statement. They want the first this, the first that. And indeed, we had the first Latina justice come on, and he himself was the first Italian-American justice.
I'm struck by the debate over abortion this week, because obviously Justice Scalia, a harsh critic of Roe v. Wade, and has warned over the years that this country is going to be dealing with these issues forever, essentially. What do you think he makes of this?
Oh, sort of, I told you so. In fact, he once wrote an abortion opinion, while I'm in a I told you so mode. And it was referring to the fact that these centrist justices, such as Anthony Kennedy and now retired Justice Andrew Day O'Connor, thought that the abortion wars would wane. Well, as we see on this health care bill, they ain't going away. And he has always felt that the reason they're not going away is because Roe v. Wade, despite how Roe v. Wade really has been embraced by America, you know, the right to abortion, despite where you are on the two extremes, that core has remained. But he says since it was settled by the court rather than by the democratic process, that it will always have an illegitimacy that plays into these kinds of debates.
Right. He thinks the debate continues because that decision is not as solid as it may have been.
That's right.